This episode of the LCTV News is brought to you by Encompass Health, Rehabilitation Hospital of New England, and North Shore Community College. If you have the will to attend college, we have the way for you to earn your degree.
Hello and welcome to LCTV News. I'm Danny Vittori. As summer is still deciding on its arrival date, grants and graduations were celebrated. In preparation for their upcoming event, we welcomed members of the GAR and DAV to discuss their collaboration. Here's the news for Friday, June 9th, 2023. The Phoenix Food Hub is inviting organizations to apply for funding which support nutrition initiatives and help reduce food insecurity in the city. They will be distributing $125,000, and while there are no restrictions for the amount of funding which can be requested, it is preferred that the minimal amount be $250,000. Only nonprofits can apply, but individuals and organizations that are not 501c3s seeking funding can partner with nonprofits to submit an application. The Lynn Food Security Task Force is also available to help promote and identify these potential collaborations. The Hub is hoping to support as many projects as they can with the money available. They are looking for initiatives that meet or demonstrate a specific need, serve populations who are harder to reach, and/or strengthen collaborations across the Food Hub network. Judge Ina Howard-Hogan took the oath of office to become the presiding judge or first judge of the Lynn District Court. Howard-Hogan is a Lynn native and now becomes the first woman of color to hold the position. Here's more from the ceremony.
As a lifelong Lynner, I know that you join me in feeling incredibly proud to know that our city has the strength, the grit, and the love to create leaders like Judge Howard-Hogan.
And for Judge Howard-Hogan, today is her official homecoming. Back to Lynn, the city where she grew up, the city that raised her and shaped her into the incredible woman that she is today.
Is that the city of Lynn, they take care of each other, they love each other, and most importantly for today, I think, when one of their own does well, when one of their own rises to the role of presiding justice, they're proud. They're proud to call them a fellow Lynner, and they're proud to have them as one of their own.
It's clear that Ina is the third woman to be named presiding judge in Essex County. Ina is also obviously the first woman of color to be presiding judge in this court. This is a wonderful day for us, the city of Lynn, the greater Lynn community. Obviously, Ina so deserves this position.
I am confident that the tradition of excellence and the service to this community will continue with the leadership of Judge Howard-Hogan. And I am thrilled to ask her to stand up here today so that I can administer the oath to her. I state your name. I, Ina Howard-Hogan, do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States. And this is amazing to see my grandbabies see me up here and to know that anything is possible. This journey started as a 6-7-year-old child sitting in the audience, in this audience, with my mom, my brother, in trouble, progressed to being a young lady sitting at the bench as a prosecutor and coming back to stand before you as your first justice. A good friend told me about having peace within myself. And in chaos and all these things, you know, it's the peace. It does not mean to be in a place where there is no trouble, noise, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those things, still calm. Thank you.
Department heads have been presenting what their budget looked like last year compared to what they are looking to secure for the 2024 fiscal year. The meeting and hearings are now available to watch in full through our website, lyntv.org. The budget itself has also been posted online so people in the community can review it before the City Council meets to discuss it later this month. According to Mayor Nicholson, quote, "This budget allows us to maintain fiscal discipline while also making key strategic investments in support of lasting, positive improvements to benefit our residents. Overall, this budget represents a responsible approach to delivering city services efficiently, spending taxpayer dollars wisely, addressing issues equitably, and planning strategically for our future," end quote. The launching of a new magazine, Prismatic, was last week on the 2nd at Gala. This launch coincided with 2 gallery openings, the LGBTQ+, Pride Flag and Color Symbolism exhibit, and Music in Movement. Here's a clip from the event.
Originally, the idea for this just came up as a one-off. We were going to just do an issue about trans kids because of all of the laws being passed across the country, criminalizing healthcare for kids and all of that. And once then Lynn started doing this Inspire grant program, and we decided that we'd go for that and try to expand it to an ongoing kind of thing instead of just a one-off issue about trans issues, make it an ongoing thing where anyone in the queer community in Lynn can contribute artwork, stories, poetry, essays, anything they'd want to contribute to help share their stories so that we can all get to know each other a bit better in these times that are a little tricky for queer people across America these days. The initial issue, I wrote some poetry for it, a couple other pieces, essays, little visual pieces, and Nikki, my spouse, did some artwork, graphic design work to go with some of the pieces, some various pieces just on their own. Anything goes, like whatever people want to contribute. Small stipend if anything gets put in the issues, and try to make it an ongoing thing to benefit the community.
Exhibitive are each artist's interpretation of music and art, and how it offers a unique look at how artists are influenced by music. Some artworks make the invisible visible. Other artworks use a visual language of rhythm and movement to communicate ideas. And my hope is that guests come and they're inspired by art and they're inspired by music, and they allow their eye to dance.
The Cummings Foundation announced the 2023 grant recipients this week. They allocated $30 million to 150 organizations, 6 of which are based in Lynn. Building Bridges Through Music, which teaches literacy and STEM programs through music, received $75,000. Center Board was awarded $400,000 and plans to put the money towards their We Rise program. It focuses on bringing together and supporting victims of commercial sexual exploitations. LEO will be using their $225,000 to add specialists to their social emotional behavioral department who are fluent in Spanish. Operational needs will be the focus of the $75,000 awarded to the Lynn Youth Street Outreach Advocacy. Their main goal is to help youth at the highest risk in the city. ROCA is the 6th organization, collecting $150,000 with their grant. They focus on breaking the cycle of incarceration and helping young people live a life free of fear or violence. Lynn Public Schools held their graduation ceremonies this past weekend. Spanning from 80 degrees and sunny to 50 and raining, no weather would deter the excited graduates. Take a look.
Although I've had the privilege of attending many graduations, each and every one is a day that leads me to reflect on the relationships that we've cultivated, the experiences we've had together, and the unique culture and characteristics of the young adults in front of me.
My mission is to elevate your value, your voice, your visibility.
To encourage you to live life on your terms. You have the power to make your choices.
You are the fire that simultaneously brings warmth to those who need it and urgency to the things that need to shift in our world.
When you're grown, you'll discover there's no such thing as failure. Consider it a cheat sheet or a sneak peek remedy.
They taught me patience, resilience, what grit can look like, and speaking up for yourself regardless of circumstance. 2023 taught me that doing things your own way is okay. To prioritize joy and what's important, and to see through the things that don't benefit you.
The successes realized by hard work can only be seen through the eyes of dedication. Dedicate yourself to the goals that bring you joy and happiness. When you are dedicated to a goal, you are working hard to achieve it. You are one step closer to achieving the ultimate goal, happiness.
You will hear many times over the next few days that you should truly view this as a beginning, not an end, and that your future lies ahead of you, and that you can go in any direction that you choose. The word commencement means the beginning of something. What are you about to begin?
It has been my honor and privilege to be part of your journey. Please know that you will always have a home at First O'Leary. My hope for each one of you is that you will cherish the lessons learned.
2023 embodies the values that KIPP has instilled in us and more. The courage to ask questions and allow their peers to question their thinking and critically analyze the situation at hand, to be open and unapologetically opinionated.
You say someone is a graduate of tech.
You say someone is a graduate of English. You say someone's a graduate of class school, and that's what you need to know.
We can and should celebrate the person we become while acknowledging the person we were. I share my story with you today because, as ironic as it seems, being vulnerable makes you powerful. Vulnerability is the stepping stone to courage, and courage builds great leaders.
I feel very confident in saying that you are all leaders.
Congratulations, and we look forward to what lies ahead in your future.
The City of Lynn is launching a new pilot program, the Rodent Abatement Program, beginning in the Pine Hill and Summer Street neighborhoods. Therefore, only residents in those neighborhoods should fill out the necessary form to participate. Those who sign up are consenting to having inspectors on site to do work related to the program, as well as periodically depositing bait, poisons, and pesticides. Residents can choose the abatement method: traditional roticide, bait boxes, contrapest, or snap boxes. There is no deadline to apply, and residents can find the form and more information on our website, lyntv.org. Hosted at the Brickett Elementary, there was a community meeting to discuss the school and surrounding areas. Members of the community came to hear brief presentations as well as express their safety concerns. Here is more.
Welcome to Brickett School. and welcome to our Brickett neighborhood meeting. I am so happy and delighted to see so many faces here.
That community, for the school even, extends much further than the brick walls of the building. You know, it requires a safe and healthy environment in the surrounding area to really create a safe and healthy environment for the families and the students who attend here.
We pick up needles outside of my house, you know, that's left from certain residences. So I'd like to know what the plans are to kind of curb that element to make this stuff come to fruition.
You know, if you've got people that are going to approach you every time you go to the store, what is the business's responsibility to that for having people not loiter in front of their business?
If there's a vacancy, we can actively support that business or that property owner to fill that vacancy. We can work with them to identify uses that might supplement what is going on in the street that is positive.
People do have the right to essentially hang around on public property. So what we try and do is think of why they hang around. Right. And then we involve our behavioral health unit. They engage with them, and these are clinicians or substance abuse caseworkers, and they engage with them because oftentimes these are individuals who are homeless, who have substance abuse issues, behavioral health issues.
The past probably 10 years, I've been having issues, and I'm right at the corner. It's like the whole side entering to Lewis residence, to Lewis Street, and I've been seeing crazy things. I think you have to take the program from the bottom, not from the outside, from the inside.
The City Recognition Committee, in collaboration with Mayor Nicholson, have selected 3 individuals for recognition due to their significant contributions to the City of Lynn. They are former Mayor Patrick McManus and civil rights activists Virginia Barton and Abner Darby. This committee was created after it was suggested to the mayor's office that the library be renamed after McManus. The next step in the process is choosing potential sites to be named after the individuals listed. McManus was the longest-serving consecutive mayor from 1992 to 2002. He was also responsible for the building of a new police station. Barton advocated for literacy and racial equity in housing and education. She was also a member of the original board of directors, as well as the president, treasurer, and co-executive director of the Community Minority Cultural Center. Darby started the Community Cultural Federal Credit Union and participated in the March on Washington. For a full list of their achievements, go to lyntv.org. Students of the Latina Center Maria came together for their graduation ceremony at City Hall on the 6th. About 40 Latino mothers graduated, surrounded by their families. Here is more.
On behalf of Latina Center Maria, I want to give a warm welcome to the graduation ceremony of the 110 hours ESL English.
So today is a big day because after 110 hours, they're going to receive their certificate of achievement.
I can appreciate that you're able to talk to the children and get them to understand what the curriculum is, and it's a very, very tough thing to do. So I just want to congratulate everybody and congratulate the Marias and everybody for putting it on and the support that you show throughout the year.
Course for Latinas Mother taught every Friday from 3:15 to 6:30 by Dr. Magali Torres Road. 10 Break Woman who every Sunday from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. took classes also taught by our Magali. We'll also receive their certificate of achievement for the life coach course with a duration of 80 hours.
Being a teacher, a professor for the past 25 years in this country, so I found out that the main source for the students to succeed in class is that moms know English.
I hope you enjoy this special event that we have prepared for you.
The Downtown Lynn Cultural District website is officially live. The website, visitlynnma.gov, is meant to give viewers an overview of the arts and cultural options Lynn has to offer, while also providing support to small local businesses. It includes an interactive map, a calendar of events, as well as a directory of local businesses and organizations in the area. LCTV also worked with the district to have our calendar integrated into the website, so any events added to ours will automatically show up there as well. For the full press release and a link to the site, go to lyntv.org. On deck, the sports update. Rams baseball was eliminated from the playoffs, falling to Durfee 4-3. A 3-run fourth for Durfee proved to be the difference. Classical fought hard, but were unable to put more than 3 runs on the board. 38th ranked Classical softball showed up, winning a tough road battle against 27th-seeded Lexington to advance in the playoffs. They were led by senior captain Michaela Poison, who showed up offensively and defensively. On the mound, she struck out 2 in 5 innings, did not allow a ball to reach the outfield. In the box, she went 2 for 3, scoring a run and stealing 3 bases. Several players had multi-hit games, helping the Rams advance to play Lincoln Sudbury. They then lost in the next round 7-2. Lincoln Sudbury scored 7 in the first 3 innings, and Classical stuck around but could not get any more runs across the plate. St. Mary's baseball was also able to overcome a 2-run deficit, downing Wakefield Memorial 3-2 to advance to the round of 16 in Division II playoffs. Sophomore pitcher Josh Donnie was lights out, throwing 7 strikeouts, recording 1 of those strikeouts and a line drive catch in the top of the 7th to keep the game tied at 2 apiece. Senior Tommy Falaska then stepped up and had the game-winning hit to right center field, scoring Nick Manzano. Falaska kept rolling, throwing a complete game shutout against Reading Memorial on the 7th to advance his team to the Elite 8. He had 6 strikeouts on the day, including striking out the final batter of the game to seal the 4-0 victory for the Spartans. St. Mary's was hanging on to a 1-0 lead before exploding in the 6th to score 3 more runs. Josh Donnie had a line drive double for 2 of those runs. Their softball team is moving on to the Division III Elite 8 after notching their 20th win, beating Denham 4-1. Anna Fringuelli pitched a full game, registering 9 strikeouts compared to just 5 hits. Lori Sariel led the Spartans, scoring 2 runs and belting a triple. They will now play division rival Bishop Fenwick on Saturday the 10th. English baseball is also advancing to the round of 32 after winning a road game over 25th-ranked Shrewsbury. The 40th-seeded Bulldogs came in hot to pull out the 4-0 victory. Alijan Wallace got the start, and after giving up a hit in the first, settled out to allow only 3 more for the rest of the game. 6 English players got hits to begin the scoring and sustain momentum. They scored their runs early in the 2nd inning to gain and retain the lead for the rest of the game. The Bulldogs were then knocked out of the playoffs when they traveled to Weymouth and barely lost 4-3. Joseph Case knocked out Lynn Tech, blanking the Tigers 9-0. Tech had opportunities, loading the bases a few times, but could not capitalize. After clinching a playoff berth on the last day of the regular season, they end their year at 10-10. The North Shore Navigators began their season with a 12-5 home loss to the Martha's Vineyard Sharks. The Navs had 11 hits and tied the game 4-4 in the 4th, but were plagued by errors. They committed 9 in the game, allowing Martha's Vineyard to score 4 in the 8th to secure the victory. Despite the loss, North Shore did show potential as catcher Matt Chattel homered to left to boost their offense. The Red Sox are struggling, having dropped 3 of 4 games to division rival the Tampa Bay Rays. They pulled off an 8-5 win in the first of a doubleheader on Saturday, but it went downhill from there as they were unable to score more than 2 runs in the next 3 games, losing 4-2, 6-2, and 4-1. Boston then pulled off a narrow 5-4 victory over the Cleveland Guardians to begin their road series, but faltered in the second game, losing 5-2. On the Lowdown this week, we learn more about a Veterans Appreciation Day event being put on by disabled American veterans and hosted at the Grand Army of the Republic. Here is the Lowdown. Good afternoon and welcome to the Lynn Lowdown. I'm Danny Vittori, and today we have on representatives from both the DAV and the GAR. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
And so would you just briefly introduce yourselves and say your position within your organizations?
I am Andrea Gayle-Bennett, and I am the second junior vice commander for the DAV, Department of Massachusetts.
I'm the curator of the Grand Army of the Republic Museum, the Civil War Museum at 58 Andrew Street.
Great. And before we dive into what sounds like an amazing event that you're putting on, you both just quickly talk a little bit about what your organizations do, what your main purposes are.
So the DAV, Disabled American Veterans, is an organization that serves veterans. Their tagline is keeping our promise to America's veterans. And we do a myriad of things, from helping with claims, advocating on Capitol Hill for legislation that benefits veterans, helping provide transportation to medical appointments. Whatever need there is for the veteran, we try to provide that.
It's amazing.
Full service.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So our organization has become a museum that was originally a post that was created by the returning Northern Union soldiers from the Civil War. And when they came home, their idea was that they were going to take care of their own. And in this case, that meant the widows of their friends that they left behind on the battlefield. So it was a charitable organization.
Mm-hmm. And one thing that you mentioned that you found amazing about your post was you said it was the first integrated club in Lynn.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Yeah, I found that impressive, considering the time that happened. Rich, poor, black, white, worker, boss, everyone was treated equally in that post. And one of the things that the DAV tries to do is to provide their services to everyone equitably.
Because it shouldn't matter where you come from, who you are. You've served, you all are treated equals.
Exactly.
It was a new idea in its day. All of the previous military fraternal organizations, including going on way back into Europe, those organizations were for officers only. The Grand Army of the Republic was the first there where you could have a brevet general sitting right next to someone who was drafted. But in that space, you had to treat each other as equals and with respect. And as I say when I'm giving museum tours in the city of Lynn, what that might have meant is you have a shoe factory owner sitting right next to someone who maybe works on the floor of your shoe factory. But again, in this space, and that was revolutionary. You had to treat each other with respect.
Yes.
Which is an amazing concept. And kind of on that note, you're collaborating, the two organizations, to host an event on the 24th, Veterans Appreciation Day. Do you want to talk a little bit about how that idea came?
Sure. So a couple of years ago, I attended an event at the GAR and found the museum quite impressive, and I thought this was a hidden gem in Lynn. But their mission is exactly what the mission is of the DAV, and that was to provide and be charitable and help veterans and their families. And that's exactly what the DAV does. We try to provide help and assistance and legislative help for veterans and their families.
Full service.
Oh, yeah, definitely full service. And on that day, what can people expect to see? Like, who's coming? What kind of things will be happening?
Well, more important than who's coming, it's going to be a fun family event, so bring the children. There'll be food, music, things for the kids to do. We do have commitments from some of our elected officials, Dan Cahill, Brendan Crichton, Pete Capano have all committed to attending. Dexter Bishop, the resident historian, will give a presentation. The 54th Regiment will be there as well.
Hey, sounds fantastic. And it's being hosted at the GAR,
It is
correct?
being hosted at the GAR. We are delighted when Andrea reached out to us. It's, as Andrea mentioned, it's the perfect fit.
And you seeking to connect veterans with the rest of the community, families, just so everyone can see it.
Absolutely. I think to shine a light on the museum, number one, because I do believe it's a hidden gem, and let people know that this is here, and it's here for you, it's here for us to experience and to enjoy, and also to let people know that the DAV is also here for you to not enjoy, but to use the services.
Mm-hmm. And you're in ways carrying on the legacy of the original members of the GAR to serve, to help families, to be there for each other. That's what they originally did and what they continue to do now.
Exactly.
You're absolutely right. Yes. And so we are inviting the community at large. It doesn't matter if you have a veteran in your family or if your veteran is not here with you. We want to see as many people to come in, enjoy the museum, and enjoy this free day of family fun.
Yes. Yeah. It's for everyone.
It sounds really just fun, impressive, a good mix. And you said there'll be a reenactment, 54th Regiment?
Yes, I can't speak to exactly what they're going to be doing, but first of all, it's impressive to just see them in uniform. I think those old uniforms are fantastic, but to see them, take pictures with them, talk to them, and hear their stories, I think will be a wonderful time.
And I'll ask you, as a veteran yourself, what sort of impact do you feel that veteran community has on the general community as a whole?
I think we provide stability, a stability to the community. We in the military there's discipline. Things are done a certain way, and we get the job done. We get the job done.
As we were talking about, Andrea won't say it, but I will definitely say, when you hire a veteran, you're getting added value because of what they went through and how they served the country.
Done, they've seen. And I will ask, for the event that's going to be happening, you mentioned some things like the family events, the fun things. Will the GAR also be offering tours during that time?
Yes, absolutely. Once we're done with that speechifying, the whole museum will be open for food and fun, and general people walking around. They'll be able to ask questions and have a good fun time.
Yes. Yeah.
I need to get over there for a tour. I've been there, but I've not actually gone on a tour there. So
you have to. It's impressive. It really is. In Lynn. Wonderful Lynn.
Yes.
Yes, just like so many of the hidden gems that are there. And there's so many different celebrations for Memorial Day, for in general, but what made you decide to do a specific Veterans Appreciation Day?
The reason we chose June, for me, was because of Juneteenth and the fact that this post was fully integrated. This was the perfect time to celebrate veterans and Juneteenth and just combine the two. Yeah.
It's an amazing idea. It's a very engaging idea. And how would you say, going for the JR, how would you say that you draw the connection between the original members back in the Civil War and veterans today? Like, how do you make that connection?
Oh my goodness. Well, these gentlemen were very, very young. We still see very, very young veterans, and it changed the rest of their lives. You don't go through something like that without it informing what you do for the rest of your life. What do you think?
Absolutely, and there's a camaraderie that develops among veterans, and it doesn't matter where you served, when you served, who you served with, doesn't matter what branch. The fact that you served, you have that commonality, and that extends through the generations.
And both of the organizations embrace the idea that it's not just veterans who served, it's their families, it's everyone.
Exactly, exactly.
And for anyone who's looking to find more information about this event, about DAV, about GAR, where would they go about doing so?
So they can go to, oh boy, they can go on Facebook. There's an event posted on Facebook, and it would be the Lynn Swampscott DAV chapter page. I'm sure on the GAR website there's a link to the information, and I'm sure we'll put up a picture of the flyer, and they can contact the information on the flyer.
Absolutely, come on down.
Yes.
And I think I went over everything that I wanted to ask both of you, but is there anything that I didn't ask or that you wanted to mention about the event, your organizations in general?
I don't have anything else to add except come on down and enjoy the day.
Andrea has the final word on that.
And I want to thank you both so much for coming on to talk about it. It's been really great.
Thank you, Danny.
Of course.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course, anytime. And once again, this has been the Lynn Lowdown. I'm Danny Vittori, and we'll see you next week with more guests. Now, the community calendar. Beginning on June 8th and running until the 11th will be the annual Lynn Carnival. Located at Keeney Park, 83 Memorial Ave, it is open today at 5 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday starting at 1 p.m. Come down for food, games, and rides for the whole family. Sponsored by Mayor Nicholson, Lynn is hosting a fireworks golf tournament next Friday the 16th. It is $100 per player or $35 for just dinner. Only 80 players can play, so if you wish to sign up, do so as soon as possible. It is a 9-hole tournament with registration beginning at 3 p.m. and a shotgun start at 3:30 p.m. It is a scramble format with prizes and dinner being served immediately following play at 6 p.m. To see the flyer, go to our website, lyntv.org. Running United Nationwide will have a combination cleanup and family day at Kiley Park next weekend the 17th. The cleanup is from 12 to 1 with field day activities running from 1 to 4 p.m. There are games for both kids and adults, music, raffles, ice cream, and much more. It will use the basketball court, splash pads, both fields, and the park. That is the news for this week. For more information on these and all events on our community calendar, as well as member and staff content, visit lyntv.org. Also, follow @Lynn Community Television on social media for city updates and press releases. And subscribe to Lynn Community Television on YouTube for videos and interviews. I'm Danny Vittori, this is LCTV News, and we will see you next week.